Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today we're discussing a third generation Vacheron Constantin Overseas Selfwinding. This is the model with blue dial and rose gold case that was launched in late 2020 for the 2021 model year. So that blue dial with rose gold combo bowed then. 41 millimeters in diameter. It's 11.2 millimeters thick, and from lug tip to lug tip, 49 millimeters across the wrist. There are two straps that come with it, one in leather, one in rubber. If you put it on those straps, it'll wear a little bit smaller, so keep that in mind if you're borderline for the fit. The watch is best presented on its full factory bracelet, where I think it really optimizes and maximizes the sense of grandeur, but also the weight and the balance of the watch on the wrist. So my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see it wears just fine. I'd say if your wrist is 15 centimeters, buy the watch and wear it on the rubber strap. That's the most flexible. If your wrist is 16 like mine or larger, you can wear it on the bracelet, no sweat. It will slide easily under a cuff. Every Vacheron is a dress watch at heart, just like every Marine, regardless of his MOS, is a rifleman at heart. So every Vacheron should also work as a dress watch, but this one is particularly sporty. There's your over-the-top shot, taking a quick look. We'll do one more down the barrel. This is the truest shot if you really want to know how a watch wears. The bracelet's substantial, and taking a look, it tapers down. It's an integrated design. The original Overseas in 1996 was designed by Vincent Kaufman and Dino Modolo, and it was based on the design of Georg Heissick's landmark 1977 Vacheron 222. So that was an integrated bracelet sports watch, and so is this. We have a bracelet that has the Maltese cross motif running down its center. You can see it in the shape of the bezel, the center line of the bracelet. It's on the dial. It's on the crown. You'll see it on the case back. It recurs throughout the watch. But you can see the nuance of the finish. These interior crevices that are polished, that's a really fine piece of detail work, and you can see how the bevel of the lug runs all the way down the shoulders of the links. The outer faces are polished. The tops are mostly satinated. There's taper down toward the clasp, and you'll appreciate that every single link in the bracelet is removable, giving you an enormous range of sizable adjustment. There's an intermediate size link in there for fine-tuning the fit, but then there's also a sleeved 1.5 millimeter pull-out adjustment on either side of the bracelet, so you have an extra degree of adjustability. And because the watch does come with two straps, it also comes with a separate deployant clasp to use with those straps. Screw down crown here, and you can see that the case, lug hoods, case top, case flanks, faceted, polished, satinated, a lovely amount of hand-finished nuance. These things are still done manually. The screw down crown endows the watch with 150 meters of water resistance, which is a lot more than you're going to find on something like a Royal Oak, which is 50. So this is a truly swimmable watch. You can see differentially satin and polish on the plinth, as well as the bezel that sits atop the plinth. The dial is rich and lustrous. There's a Rejo outboard for reading your seconds, fractions of seconds, and minutes. I don't know why you need to read fractions of seconds on a watch that's not a chronograph, but they're there for your viewing pleasure. All the hardware on the dial, date frame, logo, hands, and indices are solid gold, so they won't tarnish or oxidize with time. The dial base has a lovely metallic sunburst, but it has a sort of translucent lacquer over a metallic base, so it has a lovely gloss to it. Taking a quick look at this watch in the dark, you can see blue dial by day, blue dial by night, no shortage of luminescence. Now this bracelet features a quick release system. You just pull the tab and it pops right off. Easy to do. On the reverse side, you can see the movement, Vacheron caliber 5100, two barrels, in-house movement, surrounded by a soft iron ring to give this watch 25,000 ampere per meter anti-magnetism. Remember, the definition under the ISO 764 of an anti-magnetic watch is 4,800 ampere per meter, so this is 25,000, a feather in its cap and above and beyond what's expected on a luxe watch. We have a 22-karat rotor with 4 separate hand-finished decorations, and 22 is more than 21 is more than 18. It's great to see Vacheron giving us the most massive rotor, and that does improve the winding performance, as does the use of ceramic unlubricated bearings, which are very low maintenance and revolve very easily. 60 hours of reserve meted out in 8 beats per second, And you can see this is a Geneva hallmark movement. In fact, it's a Geneva hallmark watch, as both watch and movement have been Geneva hallmarks since about mid-2012. It's a large movement that properly fills this case back. It's handsomely decorated with stripes, with mirrored bevels, with black polished screws whose slots and circumference are chamfered, a sunburst ball bearing at center with the quadruple finished rotor. You can see solarization on the barrel covers. We also have polishing within all the jewel and the screw countersinks. So all in all, a really great looking movement. 37 pivot jewels, and because of the twin barrels, it has a nice strong flat torque curve from maximum wind to almost completely discharged, so it doesn't race when fully wound, and it doesn't start losing time after, for example, 24, 36, 48 hours. That's the advantage of two barrels. Finally, it is adjusted in 5 positions, which means it meets the standard often applied to high horology watches and tested in a chronometer test. So 5-position adjustment really is the standard for a very high-end watch. It does have a quick set. It does not have hacking. That's just about the only feature it lacks, but in every other regard, this watch is the full package. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.